Hello, hello, one and all. I am Brandon Carey, and we are going to continue our run of Contradiction, Spot the Liar. When we last left off, we had just met Paul Rand. And we were going to speak to him regarding the murders.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
But we had to stop because time was coming coming. We haven't asked him a single question yet, so I'm sure he has some things to say about Kate Vine's death, given his delightful personality, detective. Let's see what he knows. See if we can spot any lies.
How well did you know Kate?
Hardly knew her at all. Met her a few times. At the course, that's about all.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Last Friday. I just popped down to the course and about 7.
Did you speak to her then?
It's possible.
And how did she seem? Was she happy, sad, preoccupied?
She was drunk.
I love how blunt that was. She was drunk. What are you fucking on about, you fucking loser? She's a drunk ass dumbass. I don't know why you care.
Do you know if Kate had lost this? It's her driving license.
How would I know that?
You didn't see it lying around anywhere?
No.
Gives zero fucks about any of this shit and could not, like, this is clearly like, I am entertaining you. You are not. I am not here for you. This is for fun. This is fun, but I'm otherwise like not interested.
Did you know anything about Simon Thompson's bike?
No.
No, and why are you asking? I don't care about his fucking bicycle. He's an idiot.
Have you seen this before?
Looks familiar. Where did you find it?
It was, in the woods.
Presumably had something to do with Kate or her killer.
Well, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Shouldn't it be in an evidence bag, Inspector, in case of contamination?
I didn't have one with me, unfortunately.
Well, don't go testing it for DNA, will you? It's got yours all over it.
Oops. Eager to point out how bumbling we are as a detective.
Ever tried Simon's homebrew? Simon Thompson?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't touch anything that has had Simon's fingers in it.
I wouldn't touch anything that had a Simon's fingers in it. I will say, this guy has the correct affect for a rich asshole. He's very good at this character.
What do you know about this?
It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol we use sometimes on the course. Little bird in cage flying away. Freeing themselves from their past is the analogy.
So do they get them when they join the course or something?
No, not as a rule. I think I bought one once as a present.
Oh, not for Kate, by any chance?
No, not for Kate. I can't really remember who it was for. A birthday present, maybe for one of the students.
Which student?
I've no idea.
You don't remember? Yeah, I don't believe that for a fucking second. It's probably given to Emma for having a fucky with Ryan Rand. It's having a quick fucky.
What did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
You didn't hear anything about an argument in the pub?
Should I have?
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine. At least when someone just says no, you don't have to worry about contradictions there. They can just say, no, I didn't fucking see anything. I don't care. Just kind of leave that clue away.
What do you know about this?
Looks like a mask.
You don't recognize it?
Not particularly. Looks like a monarch mask.
What's a monarch mask?
Monarch is fancy dress outfitters. Ryan goes there sometimes.
Know a little bit more about the mask. That's good to know. Not really important, but, you know.
Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency.
And when was that?
Last year.
Is that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes, I suppose so. Simon likes fancy dresses and cardboard masks. We now know this. He wouldn't know about the frames in James's workshop, but maybe he knows about scrying mirrors.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Ever used one?
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No,
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
not at all. Strange question.
Indeed, very strange question from this so-called detective. This guy's affect is it's just pitch perfect.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum, or magic mint?
Sounds like it might be a drug.
It's a hallucinogenic plant. Legal, as a matter of fact.
I'm not a drug taker, Inspector. I have no enthusiasm for voluntarily poisoning your brain.
And you've never seen anyone on the course taking it?
Well, if someone had, they wouldn't have done it openly. We don't allow drugs or alcohol on our course. We like to tell students that success is the best drug. Whether you buy into that, of course, is another matter.
It really feels weird how much they emphasize they don't allow alcohol in the course when Kate came to course drunk. And this is a thing that everyone knows. And you're right, he's being very helpful, but part of that is like the nature of this being a video game. Like, they can't just have you talk to him and him tell you nothing. He has to tell you something that you can use. I do feel like if this was like a real life investigation, he would just say, no, lawyer. No, lawyer. No, lawyer. Until you got him a lawyer, and then that lawyer would tell him to stop talking.
How well did you know Liam?
Objection indeed.
Liam, who took his life.
Oh.
You might play those games at some point. I'm thinking about it.
As far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
Because I
I
enjoy his
believe he had
turning.
problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
Two drunks.
He was drunk.
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression.
That's the question I was about to ask.
Students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Does not give a fuck, and honestly, wouldn't expect him to. He's a rich asshole.
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
I presume you've seen an Atlas student doing that.
Ah, so this is an Atlas thing.
Well, it wasn't exactly our idea. The students started doing it spontaneously to show commitment to the cause. Cute, really. Which student did you see doing that?
I'm not sure, but he was carving it into a tree. I told him to stop.
Did you really? Why?
Defacing public property.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What's the punishment for that kind of thing nowadays? Prison sentence?
It's usually a fine.
All right. What about defiling public liberty? Does that carry a fine too?
Oddly enough, the student in question argued a similar point. Is that something you encourage on the Atlas course?
We encourage people who put ideas first and moral anachronisms second.
Moral
The problem with the law,
anachronisms.
Inspector, is that it's out of date.
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. However, you still respect it.
Respect it. I abide by it. We all play by the book, Inspector, but that's only because of the threat of possible incarceration.
It is weirdly prudish. You're right. I didn't notice that when I first played it, but you are correct. Though I'm not. It feels weird because he is a rich asshole, and they are playing him as like the Randian, the objectivist, and that's why he's evil, which is correct. Objectivism is an evil philosophy. It is just weird how weirdly obsessed they are with like salvia and weed, and doing this as if any of that actually means anything. It is really weird. You're right. You're right to call that out.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs. All that kind of nonsense.
Guilt cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector. My house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
That's a funny little thing.
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
Guilt has nothing to do with it. Yes, this is the Randian. Like, oh yeah, selfishness is a moral good, actually. Just in a different form. But it is that type of belief. Also, I love Automod being mad at you for using the word bondage. That just amuses me. Automod is funny. Automod is funny. I mean, you should hate him. He is a Randian. You should hate him. His name is literally Rand. He's part of the Rand family. They weren't subtle about what they were alluding to.
What do you know about this?
So you've been graced with Goebbels' company already, have you? James, our local minister for propaganda. I suppose Ryan already told you about our actual previous incarnation.
He explained, yes.
Did he tell you anything scandalous?
Not unless you count the suicide.
Well, these things happen.
Was it your idea?
The suicide?
Third eye.
Yeah, I suppose it was. As my son had started to atrophy, I decided I ought to give him something to do.
And third eye was the same as Atlas, teaching business skills.
Very similar.
So Liam's death didn't prompt you to make any changes?
There was nothing we could do about Liam's death, Inspector. any more than we could do anything about Kate's. It was out of our control.
You can't blame me for wondering, Paul. 2 student deaths in 2 years.
It's called a coincidence, Inspector. I expect they ate fast food also. But you're not investigating all the local chippies, are you?
Chippies, are you? You are right. Like, for that, like, I have many problems with Levine, and I will continue to have those problems. But the fact they made an entire game about how much objectivism sucks is actually a moral good for this society. It's a shame that people got the wrong message. Elon Musk loves Bioshock. It's great. Doesn't understand the point. The point went over his head completely. Elon Musk loves Bioshock. This is true, Krellin. Elon Musk's entire, like, existence is not understanding satire. The right-wing New Vegas fans are incredible. Who do not get that the Teachers Legion are not good people. In fact, they are very bad people. You can only get the best ending in NCR if you choose in New Vegas if you choose the NCR or Wildcard. Mr. House and Legion are bad endings. Yeah, I used to be in favor of, like, just be subtle. Like, subtlety is great, but the older I get, the more I realize you can't be subtle. You have to be like beat them over the head with a brick to understand the point, and then beat them more until it's very thoroughly hammered in. I have overestimated audiences a few too many times at my own peril. It is unfortunate that, like, unless the point is made bluntly, it will be avoided. Like FF7 being a game about eco-terrorists who are the good guys. Just never understood by anybody. But I am supposed to be looking for Contradiction, so I should probably start doing that. I think there will be one in the very first conversation. The seminar. I'm not seeing anything that is inherently a contradiction. Not that the... Oh, we haven't asked him about the pack of dry leaves.
Know what this is, by any chance?
I've no idea. Gardening isn't my kind of thing. Rebecca would probably know. I presume you've met Rebecca.
Yes,
I'm sure she'd enjoy telling you what it is. She's the kind of woman who likes to feel superior. Would probably marry a millionaire and then decide to run her own pub.
Yes, why was that?
Well, she isn't exactly housewife material.
Damn!
She likes to be in control, like Ryan. Shame, isn't it, that I'm in control of both of them?
God damn! That was vicious! That was nasty! Oh, they're both control freaks. Shame that I control them both. Just incredible. That was an incredible little exchange there. Yeah, fucking, like... If they were playing Guilty Gear, they'd have the fucking destroyed right now. You are correct, Vil, and I have noticed that, like, the people who play, like, the most evil people in fiction are actually very sweet IRL. And, like, the theory behind that is that, like, they get to do the bad guy thing for funsies, and then, like, they can go back to being normal. Because, like, it's fun to play a bad guy. I like playing bad guys every now and then. Don't insist he didn't bifurcate. Yeah, I have noticed that like people who tend to play villains a lot tend to not be villainous in real life. It tends to be the opposite. I'm not seeing anything that is contradictory.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Let's see what the hints tell me. Better question Paul thoroughly. Is there a question I missed asking?
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
What did I miss asking?
That's all for the
Guess
moment.
we'll call the
Thank you.
chief then for an update.
Go on, Jenks. Surprise me.
Chief, lots of new information for you.
Oh, hang on. Let me sit down. Go on.
You know that cult I was telling you about? Well, it turns out it was Atlas all along. They were the same thing.
You don't say.
And the student... How did you know that?
It was pretty obvious, Jenks.
Right. Well, the student who died last year, Liam, was a student there. They had to change their name after he died and were forced into an out-of-court settlement with the family.
Dodgy bunch.
Also, I met Paul Rand, finally. He's worse than Ryan, doesn't give a straight answer to anything.
What did he say about Liam?
Not much, other than that he was drinking throughout the course.
So we've got 2 heavy drinkers and 2 suicides in 2 years. They must be proud. Push him some more. See what you can get out of him.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chief.
Bye-zy bye. Oh, this is Abbey Farm. This is the wrong location.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Okay, we might be able to press this one. Hold on. Where did he say the Salvi Divinorum?
Aha.
So if you don't allow drink or drugs onto the site, why did you allow Liam to drink whiskey all night?
Well, we did give him various warnings. Did try to stop him, but didn't work.
But you let him stay on the course?
Yeah, well, we couldn't throw him out. This isn't a primary school, Inspector. We're not the police. We can't enforce these rules. If they pay their fees, they're entitled to stay on the course.
And what if they want to take drugs?
As long as they do it with discretion, frankly, I don't care if they want to wipe or inject paint stripper all over their faces.
Do you store any alcohol at Atlas?
No.
Is there a kitchen?
Why, do you want to go down there and check?
Well, obviously you wouldn't mind if what you're saying is true.
Of course I wouldn't mind. It's past the lavatories down the corridor, but you won't find any drugs in there or alcohol.
Whether I find alcohol at Atlas or not, it probably isn't particularly relevant. But it's worth a look anyway.
It is funny when you do the F&B games, you're right, Krillin, and
Be back later on if that's
go to a
okay.
location, realize you went to the wrong location, have to go back, and you just watch the actor just completely like oopsie-doobers. Oopsie-doobers, I went to the wrong place, time to backtrack. And...
So the kitchen must be down the corridor there, if what Paul said is true.
go down the corridor there. My British corridor. Let's do some looking. Oh, there's a drug vial in there.
Interesting. Well, there's a TV right there with a DVD player. I don't think anyone will mind if I have a quick look at this.
Alright, I guess we're doing this. Let's try the DVD from the pile. Look at him being a fuckface. Look at this fuckface little fuck.
Freedom, true freedom, means freedom from many vices that society had traditionally believed to be virtues.
Like
Self-criticism, self-doubt, guilt. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not virtues.
you see,
These are sins.
I once read Atlas Shrugged while taking a shit, and now my enlightened brain must educate you.
With the sole purpose of preventing the masses, stopping us from achieving the same success, happiness, and freedom enjoyed by those.
The masses, he says, as he's fucking rich.
I'm going to show you that common morality is nothing more than the cynical creation of an elite desperate to stay in power. An elite held.
This definitely is a very would you kindly kind of thing.
Full potential by making you feel guilty for pursuing success. But the good news is that you can take back
You
control.
can become a selfish
You can
prick
become the success
that will
you
shit
deserve
on
to
the
be.
toilet instead of inside of it, and
Atlas
make someone else
will
clean
give
it up.
you a unique and powerful advantage. Life in all its technicolor glory can be yours. All that you have to do is to stay.
This will be a good transition when we put this on YouTube.
And learn to love your ambition.
This does feel like the fucking Andrew Ryan speech at the fucking beginning of BioShock. My name is Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the shit in his toilet? Alright, let's try using this. Intriguing. Filming yourself stealing from your from somebody else. Definitely a very smart decision. Brilliant. Genius level boy.
Well, that was odd. Looked like someone pickpocketing, but why make a video of it?
Oh, it's the same video. Hopefully we can leave. Click to exit. Thank you. Thank you much. Alright, so... So we can ask everyone about this new thing. Let's keep going. Let's see what people have to say about this thing.
Let yourself go.
Okay.
Feel your soul lifting.
This is a thing that people do at a business course.
For the moment.
Definitely.
Break free. Excellent, Hannah.
Well,
Could you come back later, please?
what's going on here?
Please, leave.
Sorry, Ryan, there's a few more questions I have to ask you yet, and time's ticking by.
Leave.
Okay.
What an interesting thing to do during a business course. So interesting.
What on earth was that about? Looked like they were burning woolen dolls. A woolen doll burning ceremony. What a very odd course this is.
I guess Ryan's just not in right now. Huh. That's a thing. Remote control lock. We will see what this does.